Michelle's working on trying to get them in.
Okay. So we will call the meeting to order for the Recreation Commission meeting Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020 at 7:07 p.m. And if we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, I gotta stand. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
we all. I pledge allegiance
To
to
the flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States of America and
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we get an approval of agenda for June 2nd, 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right. Oh, yeah. Commissioner Burby.
I have a correction. The agenda reads down to item 8 and then it jumps to item 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because I took a few things
Out.
out.
So you might want to
Make
change it to 9,
Well-
10, 11, and 12.
Okay, we can note that.
So the amended agenda, correcting the numbers. Can we get a motion to approve that?
I'll approve it.
All right. Approved by Commissioner Burby, seconded
I'll
by
second.
Commissioner Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did I miss somebody? Did somebody say something?
No.
Oh, okay. Number 4, approval of minutes from May 12th, 2020 and March 3rd, 2020. So we've got two minutes to look through.
Right. So I sent you the one from May 12th, which was our last meeting. And then I apologize. I was in talks with Renee and I missed an email. So I sent that one out late. If you guys would rather hold off on the March 3rd, it's just a very generic minutes because I didn't have the video to go back on. We can always postpone that and wait because I know that was done late.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to postpone it, I did take some more detailed notes. I just figured that we needed Jennifer's notes because I missed a lot of her stuff. So it's up to you guys if you want.
Well, I don't know why, Christina, but when you send me stuff, I can't print it out in PDF form.
You can't print it, or
I
you
can't
open the
print
PDF?
it. I can open it and see it, but when I've tried printing it from there, and then I've tried downloading it and printing it, and it won't print it.
I just printed out my stuff.
Hang on, where is it? It prints like this. I don't know if you can see it or not. It doesn't print all the stuff.
Do you have a Gmail account?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to actually open up the.
Oh, no, you send it to my Comcast.
Okay. I know that sometimes like Gmail, it can be confusing because you want to print the email, but then it doesn't print the PDF.
Yeah, no, this isn't through, it's on my nbaruby at comcast.net. And for some reason,
Because my Comcast.net one, I was able to open them and print them.
what kind of a printer do you have?
I have an HP Envy.
Yeah, I have an Epson, so I don't know. I mean, I tried and I got tons of bad paper. And it's anything I went back, it's anything with a PDF file, so.
Oh.
Okay, all right, well.
When you go to print, can you go to like print as and then do print as PDF, or does it give you like a print as function where it's like print as Word document? Because you might have to either print it as a PDF or try to save it as a PDF and then print it, and then that might
I've tried,
do it.
I save it as a PDF, like she sends it to me, and I download it. You know, you either view or download, and I download it. And when I go into my files and try to print it from there, it'll do the same thing. So, all right. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Do we want to hold off on the March minutes then and just approve the May minutes? Or do we want to just do both while we're here?
I have no opinion, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah.
I looked at the March minutes earlier. They looked good.
I'm good with both of them, but that's up
Yeah.
to, we have a overall consensus.
Yeah, the only difference with the March minutes was that, like the actual motions, like who made those I don't have, but we don't have anything in that meeting that, is like, based on something else. So like last month, we definitely did all of those formal recommendations to council. But the March one, there wasn't any formal recommendations that came out of that we really need to be concerned about.
Because we agreed to hold it off until the next meeting so we could go check out those parks.
Right.
And that's when I asked you for information on that, Renee.
Well,
I
think
wasn't here last month, so it's up to you guys.
If we can just approve both of them, that way we can get them done with, approve them and move on.
I'll approve them. I wasn't sure if I was actually at the March meeting. It said I was absent. I don't remember, but I'll approve them.
No, actually, I show you as being absent.
Okay. All my months and days are like
Grouping
into
together.
one, so I don't really know.
So we have a motion to approve the minutes from May 12th and March 3rd, 2020 by Commissioner Kelly. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Stein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And moving on to number 5. Fraser Parks and Recreation and Senior Center gratitudes.
Yes. So first of all, in general, I guess for the whole city, I want to thank all of our first responders and, you know, the police officers and everybody who's on the front lines of all this. COVID-19 has really thrown a wrench into everything. I mean, completely changed how we live. So definitely want to thank them. I want to thank my bus driver, Kurt Gibson. Like I said, he's been going above and beyond. You know, he is there taking seniors to get groceries, which is really needed, and doing a great job, you know, sanitizing the bus afterwards and just, you know, really working under, I mean, these are tough conditions. So I want to thank him. And I just want to thank, you know, all the support that's come out, of people reaching out and supporting recreation and things like that. And I hope to, you know, next month have more gratitudes as we start doing some more programming. But definitely very grateful for the community and hope everybody is staying safe.
Great. Moving on to number 6, report on parks, ongoing parks improvement project discussion.
Yes, so I created the memo, which will be sent to council, outlining what we discussed at the last meeting. And I sent that to you guys. I did notice there is an error under the playground costs. So I'm fixing that tonight and then sending that back out.
Yeah, I have a question on that because I was thinking that the one we were sitting over was the less expensive one.
Right.
And then when I saw it on there, I was like, whoa, that's a $50,000 difference. So
Yeah, I don't know.
glad you did that, 'cause I was freaking out a little bit for a
creating it, but I did notice that those numbers are wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the numbers here somewhere. Basically, I'm going off the memo that Nick created. So what we're doing is we're recommending the 2 projects to council with preference to the Michigan Recreational Construction, which is at Natural Play. And I have the motions there. Then I talked about the pathways for Pompo and Somerset and those costs, and then who motioned for that. And then the signage for the parks. We have the 10 large signs and then the 2 smaller signs. So each park gets a sign. Steppens would get 2 large signs, and then Pompo and Harrington would get a large and a small sign because of how, I guess, large those entrances are. So all of this will be presented to council with the backup and pricing and schematics and things like that at this next council meeting, which is not this Thursday, but the Thursday after. We'll see what happens from there. It's really in their hands now to see, you know, what they feel would be best for the community. So if there's anybody that really wants to have these parks, definitely reach out to your council people, or, you know, if, I guess, just any opinions. They're weighing everything right now, so it's all up to the council.
And then there was a article in C&G. I don't know if that was today or yesterday. If you guys saw, somebody posted it on the
Yeah, I
announcement
saw it.
about the parks.
It was old. I thought the same thing, and then I saw the date on it, and it was back from February.
Okay, because I didn't have a chance to really like dig deep, but I saw someone posted it today, so I was just like,
Yeah, that was back before everything happened. So, any questions on the proposal to go to council? No?
I have Nick just joined, so I just basically went through, you know, what we were going to be proposing to council. If you have any thoughts or anything to add.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, just to make sure that we're all on the same page as far as what we're doing and what we're proposing and taking. That's just the biggest thing. I guess one of the biggest questions that's probably going to come up as far as the pathways. I know we talked about asphalt and concrete. So everyone, we're pretty much on board with the concrete, or?
I think if we give them both the options, let them make the decision. They're the ones controlling the purse.
Sure, absolutely.
That's true. Both options.
Okay.
Listening to the meeting, because I didn't attend, I was in Marquette. That's what I think Renee proposed, was to send them to council and let them decide.
Okay, no direction one way or the next one. Okay. Easy
Well,
enough.
at the last meeting, you guys did recommend the concrete.
I don't know if there's one, one path versus the next, as far as, what the rec commission wants to be as far
The
as one.
last meeting, I said we need to bring everything to the council.
Okay, it was.
Yeah, because I think we need, it's like Renee just said, it's their purse, right? They're the ones with the funds. They're the ones that are going to fund stuff. We need to bring everything to them and let them make the decision, what they want to spend their money on.
Right, so it says the commission discussed pathways at Pompo and Somerset. They recommended concrete due to durability, but reserve the final decision for council.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
Excellent. That way, good. So we're working off the recommendation, but yet their final decision is council.
Right. Perfect.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to know.
Perfect. Anything else on that? Any other questions or? No?
As far as me, no. And as far as the signage, we're going to give them each sign per park. Some parks that have multiple signs, and then we'll make the decision based on how many signs they want to do. I know I've had some direction as far as doing all the parks, which I agree, whether they get upgraded or not, to do the signage at least in the parks. You drive through a lot of these other communities, and they could just be a park like Blakey Park, that's just a walking path. Just the fact that it has a new sign on it, brings it up. And Blakey may not be the best example for the fact that it has that nice large sign, but that's just a thought as far as, even if it's just a park with no structure there, to at least do the signage there.
Okay.
And I know we keep talking about this, and I know we keep, bouncing back and forth, but we really, really need to address the garbage cans in these parks. These oil drums, I can't tell you how much I'm tired of seeing them. So they all need to go. Every park, they all need to go. Whether we need to put into the budget of the Capitol, however we do it, but every park needs to have, trash cans, whether they're permanent, the basket trash cans that are mounted in the ground with the insert liners. But these oil drums have to go in all these parks. They have to come out.
I agree with that.
I can't begin to tell you how many times I've heard oil drill. So, but I know it's money and it's time. We have to get to it, but they all need to come out soon.
I think Nancy had her hand raised.
Yeah. As far as the signs for the parks, what do you intend on doing at Somerset? Because that has a fence up there. None of the other parks have a fence. So are you going to lift the sign up higher so you can see it from the road?
Well, I think with that park, the fence is going to have to be adjusted with it because that fence, you know, it needs to be more of a rail fence system to where you can actually see through it, to where you can see a larger sign, to a 72-inch sign, and get rid of the cyclone fence, you know, to where it's more visible.
You mean a split rail fence?
Not split rail, no, like to where you see more of the iron rail fence.
I don't.
Like you'd see in a subdivision that you would see like that would be dividing the property lines. Well, if somebody has a pool, a fence like that nature, to where it's like the metal iron fence, to where it's just the post iron slotted, like you see in a lot of subdivisions, to where they have dividing lot to lot and get away from the cyclone. It has way more curb appeal than that fence, and then you'd be able to see whatever sign you put in there.
But now you're adding another additional expense.
Right, but we always talked
That
about
park.
that. We always talked about that fencing, whether we had to paint it or replace it. That fence has to get addressed. So to answer to your question, Nancy, putting a sign in there is, I wouldn't say a waste, but it could be if you just put a nice new sign behind that cyclone fence, absolutely. So I know we talked about painting that fence. Somehow we have to address that fence. I don't think spending the time and energy painting that fence is worth it. It needs to be replaced. Same with the fence at the tennis courts. So yes, there's cost behind it, but, and I see your frustration building, but Nancy, if we're gonna redo that park, that fence has to get addressed, whether it's this year or next.
Nick, have you gotten quotes for fencing on that or no? Not yet.
The gentleman's coming in, Joe from Modern Fence. Not only is he coming in for Somerset, but he's coming in for the tennis courts. But with COVID and everything, everybody's so locked up still. I mean,
Yeah.
he's coming out. We've touched base, but he's supposed to come out with the tennis courts. I've even had Tough go around with Todd from Goddard as far as doing the tennis courts and nailing down a date with that, with everything with COVID. So, yeah, getting these vendors to come out and get numbers, they're finally starting to be more released.
Commissioner Stein.
I have a question. So the fencing you're saying needs to be replaced, and I understand it, but is that going to come out of your DPW budget, or are you putting it in with the budget for the repair of the parks?
The park capital budget, yeah.
Okay, then are you bringing that to?
No, it'll be similar like we did for Fort Fraser. It'll be put into a capital.
Okay.
Identical
So
to Fort Fraser.
it would come out of the parks maintenance fund.
I understand what you're saying. So yeah, okay.
How far down would that fence go?
It'd be the same length that it is now from the pool to the house to the Baumgartner.
You mean how high would the fence be?
I'm trying to think of where you come in at from the pool area. Okay, it's right off the parking lot. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then off of the Baumgartner driveway.
Yeah, okay.
But you even take that play equipment, that upgrade, it's gonna be beautiful when it's done, you know, and then it's behind that cyclone fence, which is just, you know, an eyesore of all eyesores.
I agree.
And it's money, but it would look very nice. It would really make a big impression on that park. But
Just that whole corner, you know, with Masonic being redone and
Yep.
the park being redone, and to not do that fence would be just, you know, it wouldn't be a good service to that play structure that's going to go in if it goes in. So not to get away from the signage, but if we put that new fencing up, you can do new signs for that matter.
are you going to bring that fencing issue up next week at the meeting, or are you going to hold off on that?
I'm going to have to hold off until it goes into capital. Same with phase 2 of Fort Fraser that was supposed to be done. You know, unfortunately, this pandemic kind of put a halt on everything. And phase 2 of Fraser was supposed to be done this year. We kind of, you know, held back with, you know, with a little bit of everything as far as capital. We're still trying to keep these parks moving forward. So. Even the bathroom renovations, you know, all those things are in, you know, all that's kind of waiting. Hopefully next year's very busy.
Fingers crossed.
Mhm.
Anything else on that proposal or for the fencing part? That part, that's very interesting, the fencing part to me. Because I think that would, if you get new equipment there, if that's approved,
Mhm.
yeah, that plus, like you said, Masonic being redone, it would really make that corner look beautiful.
Yeah, it would really add.
I would be in favor of that for sure.
So I'll get all those cost estimates together. That way we know going forward when they go into the capital budget that they're there.
Bless
Thank you. Thanks.
Nick, since you're here, do you want to talk a little bit about how the parks are going so far this season, or any kind of update for the commission?
As far as the parks in general, what we're doing, grass cutting itself has been a chore. Everybody kind of knows as far as that element. It's been a hot topic, especially this weekend, but the guys are working hard. They're coming through. They should have all the parks cleaned up this week. We've been fighting the weather and just staffing, but there's no excuses. They'll get to it. As far as the opening of the parks, I guess that's going to be a topic for council as far as what we're going to do when we come out of the stay-at-home order, as far as if the parks are going to open, how they're going to open, are the bathrooms going to open? If they are, how are we going to keep them sanitized? That sort of thing. So that's going to be a conversation here very soon, in a couple of weeks. You know,
I did see that Sterling Heights plan to open their parks.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's something you can look at to see what they're doing.
Mhm.
Commissioner Stein?
Their parks are open as of today.
Yeah.
Their bathrooms have been open for about a week. I know they go in there and they do, like you said, Nick, they go in there and disinfect a certain way. They are also doing a spray once a week on the play equipment. That's like a fog that I was reading. But they only did every other swing. So social distancing can be, like done. And then you have to, of course, they're saying wash your hands, wash your kids' hands, use Perel, make sure your kids stay 6 feet apart. But they opened all their parks as of today, except maybe 2 others. And then they did not open, they did not open their tennis courts. What else did they not? Some things they said they had to wait until the order was different. They did not open their basketball courts, soccer fields, volleyball courts, and pavilions are not open yet. Those will be phase 5 of the Governor's Whitmer's plan. So they did not open those yet, but they did open the playground equipment. So, I know that's something that every city has to take on its own and see if they have the capacity to do everything they need to do to keep everything safe. So, of course, it's going to go back to the city manager and council. It's just something to think about.
Yeah.
It's hopeful that they're opening up again.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can follow suit soon. I know
Right.
kids are ready.
Right.
Yes.
But I
My
was
kids
at
are.
the park this weekend, and there were a lot of people walking, but I noticed most people stayed clear of the playground. So they're reading the signs, they are respecting the order.
Yeah. We have to get kids playing again. We really do.
Yeah,
We have to
absolutely.
figure out a safe way, of course. It has to be safe. I wouldn't want my kids out there not safe, but we have to think of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 little ones that are chomping at the bit to go play, and it's
Yeah.
making sure it's safe. So I agree. Yeah. Without rushing it. So for sure.
Yeah.
We've come this far. We just got to make sure we do it right.
Yep,
Of course.
agreed.
This being televised?
After the meeting's over, Michelle will upload it to YouTube.
Okay. Dave just said he's watching TV, so I didn't know if he was watching the meeting or.
Oh, no, unfortunately, in order to send this out through cable, somebody has to be at City Hall to, I don't know that tech stuff. I just know that what we're doing is we're recording the meeting, obviously allowing anybody who'd like to join the meeting in, and then afterwards uploading it to YouTube.
Anything else on the report on the parks? Should we move on?
He says, nope, Wheel of Fortune.
Well, we know where we rank.
Nick, again, thank you as always. You're doing a great job. Every month you come in with new, updated news, and are complying with requests. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
I know it's a tough job.
And
Are you
guys-
heading out, Nick?
Yes, I am. Yep.
I have questions for you.
Sure.
Couple questions. Back on April 7th, I asked if the dog waste stations had been put in that the farmers market paid for, and you said they would go in next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they go in?
No, I apologize. They're not in yet, but I would get them in. I apologize for coming. Yep. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on to number 7, volunteer group reports. A, updates on McKinley Barrier Free Park. Commissioner?
Yes. So we have a couple exciting things. We just put in the global motion, which is at McKinley and is installed and ready to play, but we can't play yet, unfortunately. That was 100% donors' dollars. Sorry, I can't speak today. Everything from putting it in, cleaning it up, everything, grass, seed, maintenance of it. We went and watched it, us volunteers. So 100% donor money. So that is amazing. We hope to get to play on it soon. We have a raffle coming up soon, a summer raffle. It'll start around June 15th and go to July 16th. It's going to be a chance to win $250 worth of restaurant gift cards from our community. So we thought, what a way to help our restaurants out in our community is we go buy, Fraser First will go buy, gift cards for all these restaurants, and then we will raffle them off to somebody. So we thought, why not support some businesses that have been hurting for a long time. Our next meeting is June 16th. More information will be coming from that. I'm not sure if we're going to do a Zoom meeting like this, like we did last time, or we're going to do a meeting. I know we can have over 100 people outside now as long as we're social distancing. So I might want to try to do a meeting at the park, but I have to, weather, and I have to figure out how that's going to look. But other than that, it's kind of quiet right now. We are looking into getting the sensory garden started on. Everybody's behind. All these contractors are behind. So you're on a waiting list. You're June 13th. Now you're August 13th or so on. But we are still moving forward with the sensory garden. We also are going to be putting musical panels in. They are ordered and we have them. We just need to wait for the cement slab to be put in so that those pieces can be put in. And that'll be, I'm sorry?
And who puts the pads in and installs it?
That is going to be something, I'm not sure exactly yet. We have to find a contractor, or we pay DPW to do it. So we would pay, Fraser First would pay for the concrete and pay for all that labor. We don't know exactly yet because it's still on the back burner, but we have the equipment because of everything that's going on. And then the sensory gardens, all by a contractor, Brian. He's doing all the landscaping. He's doing all the stuff like that. So we pay them, of course, Fraser First. And then the garden beds are being made by Karen Silverthorne's son and being installed. That might be August. I don't know exactly what date.
But they're donating that as well.
Yep. His company that he works for, and I apologize, I don't know the company's name. I wish I did. They're donating volunteer hours for them to make those. So that's amazing. It's a big corporation. I can't think of the name.
Bless you.
Those are the wheelchair accessible ones?
Yes, the wheelchair accessible ones. There'll be 3 of them.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. And then everything else will be landscaped by Brian.
Sherry, on the fundraiser, how much are the tickets going to be and how many are you going to sell?
Yep. So it's going to be $5 a ticket, and I'm going to sell no more than 300 tickets. And then you're going to be able to buy them virtually, and then I can send your gift to you virtually also, so that no contact. If people are still kind of, because we still have COVID, right? It just doesn't disappear. So we're going to make this as easy and as accessible for people. And if you can't pay, then you can send it to our mailbox also if you don't feel comfortable paying online. So those options will come out, and I'll probably have that out by the beginning of next week, kind of like an advertisement. But I have to wait for our license to be able to sell the tickets. So, and that should be coming anytime because you have to get a state license. So, any other questions? I think that's about it. I don't know if anybody's been to McKinley to see the Bagpiper. Amazing. If you ever get to go there on a Wednesday night or Sunday night, honestly, it's amazing.
What time does he play?
7:30.
Thank you.
So
I do have a question, Sherry, when you're done.
yeah,
So just for clarification, the globe that was put in today,
yes.
was that any city hours like DPW
No,
or is
I
that?
just said 100% donor dollars. No DPW to fix anything. No DPW to clean up anything. We put all the fencing. They clean up all the dirt. They'll put the grass seed down. This company, it's called Michigan Recreational.
I saw the post.
Yes,
but
yes, thank you.
I just wanted to clarify just for the
they're
record.
an amazing company. They're the ones that did the swings. Same thing with the swings. No, we did it all. I mean, well, not me personally, but they did it all. They put down everything. They dug, they cleaned, they put the seed down, all that. And then we even came back and pulled up all the netting for the grass seed, Fraser first, so that DPW didn't even have to do that.
Nice.
So yep, that's all. That was nothing. We did it all. So now we have to probably do it again, let the grass grow, which is going to be kind of muddy around it, unfortunately. But that's the price we have to pay to get new equipment. But yeah, no doubt. Just like the sensory garden. No DPW. Yes, Nancy.
There was an issue with the plane when they put down that port and play surface. It was supposed to be sealed. Are you getting that globe area sealed? Is that a port and play?
It's just like the other stuff. The stuff that's under the swings. We don't have to get a seal on top of that.
Okay. So is it like indoor outdoor grass or something or
No, it's just like underneath. You know what's underneath the swings, right?
No.
Okay. So it's the same kind of stuff that's underneath the airplane.
Kind of spongy material.
Honestly, it's much better quality.
Okay, because I remember that they said that was supposed to
because of it fading. It
seal,
faded.
right.
Yeah, it faded. And the reason why it faded is not so much because of the seal. It's because we didn't put black flecks mixed in with the white. I know this sounds kind of funny, but it fades easier if there's not a black flecks in it. So with the green, I know, it sounds funny. With the green stuff we put down, we put a black flecks in there so that it won't fade as much.
Okay.
And the colors are staying vibrant on the one by the swings.
I'm so much more happier with this pour in place, like the swings and the
and if you get a chance, go by the swings and just walk on that. I have bad knees and I can actually hop by the swing area. It's very cool and it does not hurt my knees.
Well, I'd have to call 911 before I did that.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And then we have, of course, a warranty on it. I mean, we don't have a warranty on vandalism, of course, unfortunately, but anything other than vandalism, we do have a warranty on it, the pour in place and on the structure itself.
That was pretty bad on Charlotte's playground, what they did.
Yeah, it was so sad. Oh my God, I cried. I was like, because I know what it takes to build something like that, right? And put all your money and your tears and your heart into that, and for somebody just to take it from you.
Did I hear that somebody had bolt cutters and forgot them? Is that what it was? And
I hope they got fingerprints though. It's sad. Like you work so hard to do that and then somebody just take it away that fast.
Yep.
And unfortunately that can happen to anybody, but we still have to do these things. We still have to build these parks and we still have to move forward even if something like that can happen. So we're moving forward. We're hoping our objective was to have McKinley done this year. I'm still hoping that's our objective. It depends how far the contractors move us back. So other than that, any questions? All right, and I just want to thank our donors. Like I said, if it wasn't for these donors, I mean, 100% donor money. I mean, so it's amazing.
There's a lot of fundraising for that one.
Yeah, a lot of fundraising, a lot of blood, sweat,
it's going to be worth it. That thing is cool. It is a cool piece of equipment.
It is. And of course, Fraser First Booster Club is about parks, right? So when McKinley's done, our mission is not done, correct?
Correct.
We already are talking about moving on and doing different things and doing even better things to make the community better. So
in different parks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're
Commissioner Stein. All right, moving on to B, updates on the Fraser Fresh Farmers Market. Welcome back, Commissioner Berube.
Thank you. I have no updates. I guess you'd have to talk to Christina.
The last I heard, it's going to council, or council's still discussing the status of the market. I know things are changing a lot with the governor's restrictions being somewhat lifted. So that really is a call for the council. So
I guess I know, but I would think that your memo that you sent out on the 8th of May would have gotten answers, or you would have gotten some answers back from Wayne on that to give us an idea, because at this stage, I don't know what's going to happen, period.
right.
I
And
don't
I
very much-
actually reached out to Wayne today to see if, if there's any news, and was told we're just waiting on council.
Well, I don't accept that as an answer, because
How, I
Commissioner Stein.
have a question. How can that be a council decision? I feel like that, I mean, I understand the governor, like we have to wait till we can have 100, like now we can have 100 people outside. So I feel like we could have a farmer's market, correct? I don't understand why that would have to go to council for their permission. Why couldn't they just have a city manager saying, okay, the governor says now, the governor's orders are more than 100 people can accumulate outside with masks on. Of course, we have to have things going on, but I don't understand why it has to go through council. I guess I just don't understand that.
Now, is the farmers market, if it's allowed to go on this month, would it be slated for not this Saturday but the next Saturday?
you really want to know the truth?
Yeah,
They'd have to vote on at the meeting on June 11th.
right. And then it would be what, the 13th?
It would be the 13th. That would give me Friday to contact any of the vendors
That's gonna
and
be-
try to
That's
get
what I was-
information back from the vendors
I was wondering if
Try
you can contact.
to try to get some kind of signs, because they have to go out there. So it's really put us in a bad position. So that's why I'm upset that Wayne hasn't made the decision. And I'll throw this out. He made the decision to cut the hours of DPW people from 40 to 20, and he didn't ask for council's approval. So what's the problem? New Baltimore's been open. St. Clair Shores will be open. Birmingham's open. Mount Clemens is open. I don't see what the problem is, other than Wayne. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak. So I understand before the 100 people, like the government order, we couldn't have more than 10. Then I can understand not having it. But now that it's 100, I don't understand why. Is council the one asking to bring this to them? I'm confused. Like, I don't understand why it has to go to council. I just don't get it. I'm going to keep on saying that, but I don't. Why can't Wayne just make a decision and say, yes, because of the government order, we can have it? I mean, that could have been made June 1st.
Well, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, because we have to then decide, okay, so we're going to say that the farmers market is an essential business. Are crafters essential? I don't think they would be.
I see
So
where you're going with that.
So are we going to just have the farmer? And if so, who's going to be overseeing the regulations? Who's going to make sure that we are following, regulations to make sure everybody's staying safe? Would that be the market? Would it be the recreation, which is just me? Would it be DPW? Like, who would be doing that? And if the bathrooms aren't going to be open, then what do we do for that? So it's tied up in a lot of different things. I personally, I don't think we should have the market, at least not now, maybe in a month or two. I think that it's a little bit too early, and we have one farmer, which is great, but I think it puts us in a different position than maybe some of these other farmers markets like New Baltimore, Royal Oak, or
I believe this is the farmer's market update. And I will tell you this right now. I watched that May meeting. there were 7 commissioners at that May meeting. 1 was missing. There were still 7. The conversation that went on between Sherry Stein and Vanya about the farmer's market, why we shouldn't have the farmer's market. I'm not going there because it's been made in somebody's house and da-da-da-da-da. That should not have been brought up at that point. You don't know, Sherry, who I have other than the farmer. You don't,
I don't
know
think
that I've got a garlic guy. Is that a crafter? You don't know if I've got somebody that does dog treats. Is that a crafter? All this stuff, you don't know who we've got or who we don't have. And for you to go and say and
That's
make,
why I feel like this would be a better
So
discussion to
sorry.
bring in front of council to see what they decide to do with.
no, because I don't come in and ask about things on McKinley Park. I let her discuss. But when you have a person, at the end of the meeting, you have citizen participation. That's where Vanna should have been talking, not as part of a commissioner, okay? And for them to sit there and knock down the farmer's market and not know what's going on, and you not standing up, Christina, and saying, no, they're not charging, Sherry, for a vendor to come in. We gave all the money back that we had gotten for vendors. That was our gift to them. We told them they could come and set up. Whatever they made, and they know that situation. And Christina, you knew that we had made that decision. You also knew that we said we were not going out for sponsorships this year. These businesses have been hit hard. And you didn't say anything.
I believe
When the bantering was going on between Vanya and Sherry.
I think
And I do know that Cheryl did step up and say that I'm sure that the farmer's market would have things put in place. Yes, we would. But I can't do it in one day.
Commissioner Stein.
Thank you. So I can't speak for Vanya, of course. I have to speak for myself. When I said that, Nancy, I was true. I will still stand to this moment. I know if you have the same people you had last year, unless you're going to have all farmers, right? And I said that if you're going to have all farmers, it's a different story. But if you're going to have crafters and people making stuff, I'm sorry. I'm speaking for myself. People aren't going to buy that kind of stuff. And that's what I was saying. I never said that you shouldn't have it. I was just saying, why have people there if they can't sell their stuff and people aren't going to buy it? That's what I said.
And you don't know whether they're going to be able to sell their stuff.
Excuse me? I let you speak. I would like to speak. Thank you. I said, and I still stand by that. I am not going to go buy something from somebody's house I don't know. People might, you're right, people might come and do it, but I was concerned about, I did not know that they weren't going to be charged. I was concerned about them being charged and then going there and not making a dime and losing product and losing costs. That was my whole thing.
And that's where Christina didn't step up and say, because she knew before that.
Okay, I'm just speaking for myself. Like I said, I can't speak for anybody else. But I will still stand to this thing. If they were going to get paid, if they were paying, I would still say, I don't think it's right because I feel like they're going to lose.
But you guys were intervening into a discussion which you knew nothing about.
But I didn't know that I didn't know. So how would,
You shouldn't have been bringing it up.
Can we keep this civil, please?
No, because, yeah, I got to walk.
Commissioner Paletti.
I just want to say this. That meeting was a month ago. It was a different situation then. That was 3 executive orders ago. At that time, there was no groups of 10. I mean, and as far as anybody speaking on an agenda item, this is a less formal meeting, so they have every right to speak on an agenda item. It was just people expressing their concern over the situation.
But that's
now I'm
at the end.
Commissioner Kelly, did you have your hand up?
Sorry, yeah.
I did. I just wanted everyone to just take a step back for a second, because when I was listening, I couldn't say anything in the meeting. But when I was listening, I didn't take it as that. I took it as, you know, someone may not want to go to there because people are panicked. People are freaked out about this. I mean, I deal with it, well, not in 2 weeks, but I dealt with it every day. People were panicked about everything. They didn't know what was going on inside someone's house, what was going on inside of the business. You know, just, again, like Renee said, it was a month ago. Lots has changed. I mean, we're still dealing with COVID, but I haven't dealt with a COVID patient in 2 weeks. So, I mean, that is a good sign.
I understand that.
It's
but
changed.
it-
And
at that
I wasn't taking it as an attack. And I know maybe if I went back to rewatch it, maybe I would take it as an attack. But I didn't see it at that point in time. And I don't think that it's fair for anyone to be pointing fingers. I think we should just, again, everything has changed. So cooler heads will prevail. Let's take a step back for it.
I agree with Commissioner Kelly. I think a month ago, everything was so different. We had no idea. We were thinking possibly August that we would be in a lockdown. So if I believe I remember the discussion that if other farmers markets were open, you know, how successful were they going to be? If people were so scared to leave their house, which is fair. If people don't want to go out, that's fine. But we didn't know what it would be like in the coming months, because last month in May, which feels like 6 months ago, we were all in lockdown.
You also did step up and say that you thought the farmer's market would have the proper protocols in order.
Right. Well, and you know, being on the board the first year that it opened, I have faith and I want it to succeed. I just think this year, 2020, is just a bust. It's a bust. And I'm just hoping moving forward, I'm hoping that possibly next month or the month after, when possibly Christina has some more help going forward, it'll be an easier situation. But I don't think anybody was trying to attack it last month. I really don't. I just think a month ago was different, and I think in a month it's going to be completely different. Commissioner Stein.
So this is, you know what, go ahead, Dana, first, because I know you haven't spoke.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, you know, when I was listening to it, you know, as someone who's really excited to get involved with the farmers market and goes to a lot of farmers markets, Eastern Market is one of my absolute favorite places to go. But, you know, when Sherry was making those points, I was taking it more of like, you're also trying to have the best interest of the vendors, right? So I don't think that it was saying anything bad about the market itself, but just the profitability and the best interest of the vendors as well. Because as somebody who loves farmers markets and goes to them often and will buy anything from anyone because I love to shop, I'm not doing that this year. I'm just not. Same thing with playgrounds. If we open McKinley, if we open Somerset, if it's brand new, if we disinfect it once a week, I'm not taking my kids there. Because until we know if a second wave is coming, you know, that might make me paranoid, and I still want to move forward, right? So that we are set up in a great place. But there might be a lot of people out there like me where I'm just not willing to take that risk. I don't care if somebody made a dog treat wearing a hazmat suit. I'm not giving it to my dog. So I was just kind of taking it. I actually thought that Sherry was being very objective, and I didn't take it as any offense as to anything that would market, because
I guess,
you know, Nancy, we know how much you care about the market, and we know you would take every precaution. But I think Sherry was trying to look out for the vendors as well, so that they didn't think that our market was a bust and then not want to come back.
But again, I'm going back to before, when we were starting the market up. Sherry's comment was, well, if you only have 3 vendors, I'm going to go once and I'm not going to go again. So that sticks in the back of my craw. Yeah.
Well, I think that there's a lot of emotions around this.
And I still have the
I just
floor.
want to say one thing and I'll be done. I'm not going to sit here and batter with you and argue with you about a point that you make, or if you don't make, or if what you think my opinion is of things, because you have no idea who I am. You have no idea what I believe. And if you did, you would know what Dana just said. That's why I'm glad I had Dana go first, because it's exactly what I meant when I was trying to portray the farmer's market. I would never want anything in this city to fail, ever, 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 ever. So if you believe that, then you can believe that, and I will leave it at that. And I'm sorry that you feel different about me, and that's okay with me. So I'm done.
I just think it was kind of a stab in the back, as I wasn't here. I wasn't able to do it. And
You
fine.
don't have to talk. I
Go
know.
on.
It's
Just
not professional.
let's leave it and go on.
Let's just also be civil, be adults. Any other questions on the farmer's market, other than we hope that it can move forward, and we'll see what happens at the council. I do have one last question though. If council approves and says that it can move forward, let's say in July, have you been on notice with your vendors and the farmer about that?
My vendors have been waiting to find out if we're going to have June.
Okay.
And how can I tell them?
Okay.
2 days
So
before.
you're keeping some sort of connection with them, trying to. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Commissioner Stein.
I have a question. So, like I said, if it happens in June, I'll be happy. July, it'll be happy. But do we have precautions about making people wear masks? Because that is still going to be a government law, like a requirement.
Well, that was in my memo to council and to Christina and to Wayne.
That would have been nice to have that memo for the commission too, just so we know what's going on. So then I would know, and I wouldn't have to ask.
But I gave it to Christina, and I expected it, you know.
And that's fair.
If they want precautions, what precautions do you want? What do you want my signs to say?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And to give me 1 day to try to make that happen, when number one, don't have a very good base right now, because I'm sure you know what happened to Charisse.
I know. It is.
Alyssa, who is the big backbone, is due the next day. So what kind of help do you think I want her at the farmer's market? Being pregnant? No. So it all falls back onto me at this point. And I can't get a decision one way or the other. And to me, it should be Wayne making that decision.
If the executive order isn't until June 12th, I'm just gonna say June's a wash, whether they approve it or not.
No, all right, why is New Baltimore's farmer market open? Why is Mount Clemens open? Why is Birmingham's open? Why is Clausen's open? And he lives in Clausen. All the farmers markets are open.
Well, it's just like the recreation departments. It's different per city. The city, depending on what city you're in, they're going to have a different opinion.
So again, it comes right back down to the city manager, Wayne.
Right, but that's a discussion for
The
not
department
this
had to have
commission.
with Wayne, and I don't, I'm just very, very upset and concerned as to what happened last month and what is not continuing to happen.
Have you reached out to Wayne?
Situation.
I personally have not. I wasn't the one that sent the memos out.
Go ahead.
So even though you didn't send the memos out, I would have been backing that email to Wayne with more emails saying, hey, I need an answer for these people that I've been promising a farmer's market to. And
well, unfortunately, I was up in Marquette dealing with family issues.
Okay. Well,
so I didn't have that.
And I understand that. I'm just saying I would be like today, maybe even saying, hey, what is going on? That's my opinion, but I know my opinions.
Nancy, we'll talk tomorrow. I'll talk with Wayne and we'll get some more clarity. I don't think there's anything that we can resolve this evening, but tomorrow is a new day. And first thing in the morning, we can be on a call. That's the best that can come from this conversation.
All right. Well, hopefully it can continue on, whether it be next month or August. Everybody wants the farmer's market, and we'll just table that.
Well, you know, it comes to a point where, am I going to have a farmer? This is his livelihood too.
All right. If nothing else on that, since we can't really do much more with that discussion, we'll move on to number 8, overview report from the Parks and Rec Director.
Yes, so obviously, as we kind of all knew with COVID-19, things are changing every day. I did not foresee the governor easing restrictions as early as she has, so that does definitely change the game up. And we are reacting to that. Our van service has been going, and now with doctors starting to hold appointments, we are starting to see a lot more doctor's appointments for the van. We still are limiting the van service just for essential trips, so doctors and food. Just because we do deal with the sensitive population, we're not doing a lot of the recreational stuff for the seniors. And not at this time. And things are changing all the time, so who knows? From the last council meeting, the budget was passed. It was passed with reduced staffing until things get back up to normal after COVID. So it's good that we have, our future kind of laid out ahead of us. We know what we're going to be looking into until we come back after this pandemic. I am just working part-time, and then I have my van driver, and that's it for the department. So with that, I have a few programs that we're going to be offering throughout the summer. The first is the 100 Days of Summer, which has a bunch of at-home projects and activities for kids to do ages 5 through 13. I'm still getting the list of everything together because that is 100 different activities we're putting together. But we're going to make sure it's, something cheap and reasonable for families, and really just like something to like look forward to and say, okay, this is our thing that we're doing today. Because I know if anybody's like my family, we're struggling every day to figure out what we're going to do. We're also going to be doing coloring and letters. So kids can color a page or write a letter and take a picture and email it to us, and we're going to send it out to some seniors. So we'll get that going. And all of these are going to be in the newsletter, so that's how we're going to be promoting it. We're going to be doing a Fraser United While Apart virtual 5K at the end of the summer. It's going to last along a week. It's going to be like we did last year for the virtual 5K, but we're just doing it ourselves. I'm not going to pay a company to manage how many miles people walk. It's just going to be like an honor system, and people get a t-shirt. I think that'll be pretty cool for people. What else do I have on here? We're going to do a Color the Path week where we're going to have a bunch of chalk out at McKinley Park on the path and encourage people to fill up the entire path, which I think would be pretty cool. We'll see if we can get 0.6 miles of sidewalk art going. And obviously we're, asking people to come out and practice social distancing. I think most people at this point kind of have that down pat, but we will definitely encourage that. I'm also working on some early childhood activities for parents to do with like toddlers. And we will be doing some music in the park, just getting some, ideas together, bands or musicians, maybe the churches will come out. And I am applying for another tree grant for the fall, so we'll have another tree planting. They seem to like me at the county, so I'm hoping that we get some more trees, because that'd be great to get some more free trees. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention about the van service is that we, a few months ago, I applied to have one of our vans not redone, but to get a new van to replace one of our older vans. And the application for that has been accepted. It's not as exciting as it seems. It's been accepted into the SMART grant. So SMART's applying for a grant, and we're part of that grant. So if SMART gets the grant, then we get the bus.
That's perfect. That'll be,
yes.
that'll be big.
So that's some good news.
That is very good news. How old
Um,
is the van that you're using right now?
what?
How old is the van that you're using right now?
We have one that's 10 years old and one that is 8 years old.
Okay. So yeah, a new van would be very nice.
Yes.
Very exciting.
They get a lot of use. So, yeah, I think, you know, obviously things are changing every day. I don't know when we'll start doing in-person programming. I'm still cautious about that. I'd rather be on the cautious side than look back and regret moving forward too quickly. That's just how I am, but definitely we're trying to make things work at the best we can with what we have, and you know, just kind of waiting this out. I'm ready to get back to normal.
Yeah, I think everybody is. Everybody's over it. But I'm glad that you're doing programs at home, because that's something positive the kids can do and families can do, and it's something that they can look forward to doing every day. There's something new every day. So I think that's a great plan. And I hope a lot of people take part in it. I think I will. I don't have kids, but I think I would do it too, just because I'm bored at home. So why not? Commissioner Kelly.
Do you need any more ideas? I mean, Colton, Lincoln, and Gavin do a virtual summer camp every year with U of M. So I might have a ton of ideas from that.
Yeah, if
you
you
need
could
any.
send them over. I'm
Okay.
definitely still getting it all together. So I think I've exhausted Pinterest, so now I'm just trying to think.
That
Is that all
All right.
for the, oh, did somebody, yes, Commissioner Stein.
So I have a question. So for the 100 days of summer, how are you just gonna put like what they need to do out there, or are you making them pay amount and then they get the materials, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, so it will be a paid for program. I think I'm also going to have like a side one that is free. But the one that's paid for actually has like supplies for it.
That's
So we would put those all in a bag and, you know, send them off with, you know,
Curbside
printed
pickup.
copies of things.
Right? And if you need help with the curbside pickup for people picking that up, let us know.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
There. Because I know Sterling Heights that's what they're doing. They're doing like this kind of similar thing, and they're doing a curbside pickup with all the stuff that you need. And I think they're charging $40 per like, it's like, I don't know if it's 100 days, but it's like so many weeks or whatever. So, but if you need people to help with curbside pickup, let me know. I can definitely help you.
Yeah, I can help with that too.
Yep, same.
Anything else for the overview?
That is it.
All right. Any questions? Okay, moving on to number 9, other business. Nothing? No other business? Okay. Moving on to 10. Oh, anybody? Was that somebody? I keep hearing noises, and yeah, that's the one thing about Zoom is you hear something and you don't. Okay. Anyway, number 10, citizen participation. Anyone?
Oh.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Laura Lesage, 15201 Fairview. I want to just bring up a couple things that was brought up with the farmers market. We know that the Parks and Rec was, canceled this summer, a lot of their programs. And since the farmers market is part of Parks and Rec, it only makes sense that the farmers market would not happen, at least not for this first month. And as Christina mentioned, with the governor changing the order every day, just about, I think it's possible it could be opening up in July, as well as other things for the Park and Rec department as to continue doing other programs. But as far as the delay in, you wait until the meeting in June and then the market's 2 days later, I think that's very unfair to the vendors, as Nancy mentioned. We need to let them know exactly what's going on and go from there. So that's my thought on that. As far as the music in the park too, I was wondering, is that gonna like rotate parks, or is it gonna be at Steffens only? And do you have other ideas to do in Steffens at this point, Christina?
It'll just be at Steffens. I think
Okay.
that park has the most room that we can kind of spread out at.
Okay.
And as far as other programming, no, I don't have anything else at this point right now.
Okay, and so that's kind of all I had, but as far as we know now that with Parks and Rec kind of like not happening this summer, there is no parade, there is no picnic, and we just have to live by what the governor is telling us to do, right? So there you go. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else for citizen participation?
I think she was the only citizen.
I don't see anybody else on here.
I was hopeful. Okay, moving on to 11, commission members with concerns. I will start with Mr. Kelly.
If anyone has pop tabs that they want to give me, I will gladly take them. I donate them to the Ronald McDonald House in Ann Arbor, and our appointment's in July 15th to be exact. And they take them and they donate them, or not, they recycle them, and they take all the money from the recycling and help out families who need to be near their child that's in the hospital. So there's that. And then there is a peaceful protest planned on Friday at the tennis courts by the police department. So I want everyone to be safe this weekend. That's it.
Thank you. What were you collecting?
Pop tabs, like from soda pop or
So,
beer,
the
if you drink
aluminum?
it. Yep, the aluminum
Okay.
tabs.
Okay, I will remember that, and I will try
I'll
and
have
collect
some
them
for
for
you.
you.
And I'll post it online so everyone can give them
Awesome.
to me.
Perfect. Commissioner Sutherland. Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy.
Okay.
Did you?
When was this rally? At the tennis?
There's a peaceful protest. I believe it's Friday. I don't know the time. I just saw it
5 to
online.
7.
So
5 to 7.
It's at 5 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. So hopefully it keeps peace. Commissioner Sutherland.
I've got nothing. Glad to see everyone. Everyone looks like their quarantine is hell. No one's turned into a chunk of hunk or a drunk yet, right? So
I don't know about you.
yeah.
I turned into a chunk.
Commissioner Berube, as you drink your water. Sorry.
It's water, not vodka. Okay. Actually, to what Laura said about since Parks and Recs is closed, the farmer's market shouldn't go on. I can take it a step further. If Parks and Recs is closed, why are the walking paths open? Why is Mr. Campbell in the park playing the bagpipes? That's why I reached out to council and asked, this is something that we can offer the residents. Why can't we do that as well? Okay. Also, Christina, there was a memo that you sent out on May 8th that said all field usage and pavilion rentals had been canceled for the 2020 season.
It has.
There was 2 nights ago, there was a baseball team out there playing baseball. Do you know anything about that?
They were using it without a permit. I mean, we don't have any permits out for anything.
Isn't there a sign there that they can't play, at the pitcher's mound or something? I don't know,
Well, it falls under there's park signs saying that the park is closed.
Okay. Also, in that same memo, you put down, in that same thing as the restrooms are closed, and they're not open. We understand that. Also, does that mean the porta potty over there by the tennis courts is locked? Because that's what we use for the farmer's market. It's
my understanding that either it's locked or it's not there. I haven't actually been by to see if it's there, but
it's there.
Okay.
It's still there.
That kind of falls into the same thing as the the restrooms. It's still a small contained space that people would go in regularly.
Also in there, you said the picnic tables will be removed from the pavilions to discourage gatherings. None of those were ever moved. The picnic tables are still all under the pavilions. Was there a
Okay.
reason for that?
Well, I know that DPW is very short-staffed. I mean, they're having trouble cutting the grass because they don't have all their part-time people back. So, I mean, is there concern on your part that we're not following through, or is it that you're
Right,
concerned for the
well,
welfare of the city, or what?
I'm not sure. You know, you put it in a memo to Wayne and saying that these things are being done. And you know, the big bounce was canceled, which I understand and stuff, but you know, is Nick telling you this, or, you know, it wasn't being followed through, I guess is what my concern was.
Okay,
Well,
I know that we're all doing the best
Eric.
that we can and trying to keep up with everything day to day. So I'll address those concerns with the appropriate people.
Okay, and then on 4/14, I sent you an invoice for Heath for the website. We went back and forth because you didn't get it, and then I sent it, and then you sent me a message you got it. That invoice has not been paid for $194.40.
Okay,
Well,
well,
big concern with that was that, remember, you were off and you didn't have the credit card, so he would have to have paid for it, and he didn't want to tie up his funds. So I went over and gave him the cash so that he could pay for it. So when he gets the check, he's going to cash it and give it to me. I've heard nothing on the check whatsoever at all.
okay, so I again, we could have talked about this outside of the meeting, but since we're in the meeting, that when you sent that to me, I was not in the office. Julie was in the office at the time. I directed her to send it out. I was told that it was sent. And it's on me. I didn't follow up to make sure that was done or not. I am in the office very, very little, but I can check the financial reports to see what happened with that. But I don't have that information now. But anything like that, you can always, you know, reach out to me outside of a meeting so we're not taking up the meeting time.
Fine. Let it go then. That's it. Nothing else.
Commissioner Paletti.
I don't know how to follow that. I don't have any grievances to air at this point. Thank you.
Commissioner Stein.
So, of course I have something to say, because it seems like I always have something to say, as some people say. I just wish that some of this we could just all work together, right? That's all I'm asking. Instead of it feels like we're all attacking each other, and it just aggravates me. If somebody doesn't like me, then don't like me. But you know what? We're all here for the same purpose. At least I know I'm here for the same purpose, is to make the community better, work hard on making better parks. And yes, I am part of Fraser First Booster Club. And yes, I am the president. And yes, I do put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. But guess what? I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into everything with Parks and Rec. I'm at every single event. I volunteer. So I don't understand. If somebody doesn't like me for a reason, that's fine with them. But we're all here for something to make this place a better place for our kids. My children know what it is to be a part of a community. They volunteer, they know. And I want my kids to be like that. And I know Dana's kids want to be out there and helping, and they're great kids too. And Kelly's, look at her boys come up. They're always, so I mean, we have to all think of what our goal is. Our one goal is what? To make this community better. So I just feel like if you have a problem, and if you have a problem with me, email me, please. Call me. Well, you don't probably have my phone number. Email me if somebody has a problem with me. I will answer questions all day long. I am not here to attack people. I'm not here to make people's lives worse. I'm here to make a better community. So that's all I have to say. I'll leave it at that.
Happy June, happy summer coming. This was a pretty tense meeting, unfortunately. And I hope if we have, next month's meeting, if we can meet in person or if we're doing the Zoom again, I hope we can remain civil. We're all adults. We like Commissioner Stein said, we are all here because we love Fraser. We want to see the best for it. I'm in Fraser First Booster Club as well, and I joined that because I didn't know how to get involved in anything else. But I learned, they're building McKinley Barrier Free Park first, then moving on to other parks. But like other people, I am also invested in other parks. I would love to see other parks be upgraded and cared for. That's why I applied for this commission seat. So we are all here because we love the city, and let's all remember that next time. But I hope everybody has a good June. I hope everybody's staying healthy and enjoying the warm weather finally. So that is it. If we have nothing else, if we can get a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right,
Okay, guys. I just want to let you know that as soon as it's done downloading from the Zoom, I will post it online and I will put it on the website also.
Thanks, Michelle.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a motion to adjourn from Commissioner Paletti, and who is the second?
I'll second.
Or Dana.
Okay, second by Commissioner Sutherland. All in favor?
Aye.
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 8:23.
All right, 8:23. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, thank
Bye,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.